another episode of Full Throttle Talks. Today we have with us Poncho, the founder of ISBK Racing Academy. Uh, Poncho has been training since 2009, founded ISBK in 2019. He has trained over 10,000 riders so far, has been racing since 1995. And across his team and his racers and his pupils, students have all won over 10 championships. And he's trained over 500 racers, and he has students from Leh till Kanyakumari. So, welcome to the podcast, Pancho. Thank you
so
for joining us on such short notice.
Pleasure.
And
Absolute pleasure.
And it's happy that you gave a chance to one of your backbenchers. So, tell us your personal journey and what's the vision of ISBK?
My personal journey, I think, right now, I honestly believe I'm really enjoying riding. Post 50, it's a very interesting thing for me. I started training in Thailand, meaning not training, but taking training in Thailand, where I spent at least a week, a month training over there. And really up the technical game, really up the technical game. My vision for ISBK is to make this community grow. And, we were so thrilled to announce Pirelli on board with us for this track day. I'm hoping to see them in our future track days. I'm hoping that somehow there is some racing that comes out of this. I think
we all want India to race.
My dream is to actually, for the brand ISBK, because it's synonymous to World Superbike, synonymous to Malaysian Superbike, synonymous to Australian Superbike, everything. So to make that into Indian Racing Championship, this would be my ultimate dream. Of course, many hurdles are there.
How excited are you about the Indian Superbike Championship?
The Indian Superbike League. The Indian Superbike League. I am very excited. I mean, when I heard Vicky say that riders don't have to pay for their rides, versus they will be getting paid to ride, this is like a wow. One of the reasons why I feel personally that the Indian riders have never been able to excel abroad is because we are very restricted on tires. Our national championships are always controlled by a tire manufacturer. It's a local tire manufacturer. So our riders never get to taste, real grip. Whereas if you look at the Malaysian championship, you look at the Thai championship, everything around us, people are racing Pirellis, people are racing Dunlops. They're racing tires which are used at a world level racing. Our riders are riding development tires here, then going to those championships. And their journey gets really, it becomes very tough for them because the main thing is grip. And they have to learn grip.
So we are getting aided by the government as well for this?
Unfortunately not, because of the Make in India drive, tires have been put onto a restricted item list. A tire cannot be imported unless it is ISI or BIS certified, The HSN code cannot be, you cannot import it. Because of this, most of the manufacturers are looking to import the tires to suffice the requirements of the market. And racing in India is such a niche. For example, if I was just talking to somebody from Aprilia this afternoon while I was having lunch, and he said he's sold over 300 457s. Now that's 300 sets of TVS Euro grips that are on those bikes. Correct? And a Pirelli, a Dunlop, a Michelin, they are more looking at that business than supporting 80 people for the track day. But Pirelli, to take this incentive, to give 30% off to our riders, who come to our track days, they gave a set of tires to Dilip free.
Oh, nice.
As he had clocked the fastest lap time today, it was given to free by the Bombay distributor of Pirelli. To me, this is a wow. This is the first time.
So is the community building themselves up, right?
Yes, I think the community is in the right direction. When I first came here, there was only talk of parts. What exhaust do you have? What part do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Now they're asking, bro, what gear are you going into that corner? And to me, when I hear this, when I'm walking through the pits and I hear people talk like this, it excites me so much because it's like, okay, we've grown. We have learned that we are going to become fast and then ask the motorcycle for the time versus asking the motorcycle for time to compensate our weaknesses. So this is a great step forward.
So this is something you've always taught, that you should build your skill first and then the
Then
bike.
ask for the machine.
Yes.
Then ask for the machine to support you. It's always, we should lead the way. When we first came here, agreed, Superbikes, it's a rich man's toy. In this country, it's a rich man's toy. And when you have that much money at exposure, definitely you're going to throw everything at it, to boost your ego, versus spend the same amount of time and money, go to, Europe, go to Thailand, go to train, and you will really, really build up your skill sets. Really, really build up your
So
skill
how many bikes are we racing this year from ISBK?
I'm hoping to see Rushab race so Rushab does road racing. So I'm hoping to see him race. He did one round last year. He's trying to raise the capital to go race road racing. Now, road racing is not at the track. It's he's trying to get up to Isle of Man. That's his end goal. And
Very gutsy.
he's going to try and get to qualify for Isle of Man. His target is going to be this year end. He's going to try for the Northern Banks or whatever. That's the qualifier for Isle. I don't think he's going to get through. We wish him all the best. But I like his strategy. I like his goal. And the best part is he's trying to fund it himself. So he's actually going out there asking people for money. And for the amount of times he's had the door closed on him, he's also been successful. Which means don't feel shy to go and ask, guys. I mean, it's really, I think every racer has this little bit of shyness in them.
Yes.
That's why we all wear dark visors, But as a fact, don't be shy, go and ask. No, it doesn't hurt anybody.
So let's talk about the importance of track riding and how it helps a rider develop the skills for even everyday riding as well.
Okay, now from my perspective, right? The last time I rode a motorcycle on the road was 2005. That was the last time I rode a motorcycle on the road. Since then, I've only been riding on the racetrack. Okay. For me, I perfectly understand that most of our community, right, also do Sunday rides, also may go to their office on a Saturday morning on their superbike, also may go to Cafe Coffee Day to join their friends for a cup of coffee.
Starbucks. We are Starbucks people.
Starbucks, no, sorry.
Khas aadmi party.
My feel is what you learn on the track is the core foundation of riding. Hold the bike between your legs, be loose on the bike, let the bike do its thing, Basic throttle control, learn how to brake. What we teach in L1, L2, just your basic stuff, will improve your riding on the road by leaps and bounds. Because I assure you that on your highway rides on a Sunday, you never ever will encounter a C14 or a C2 or you will not encounter these kind of corners. They're mostly all laid out, very marginal deflection and turning, And when you're so used to taking such acute turns, this is going to improve your skill set crazy, your skill set of vision. Just practicing wide vision while you ride, you can start to see the peripheral. This is such a lifesaver, such a lifesaver. I teach my wife to practice this. You keep wide vision when you drive. You will see what's happening on this side. You will see that dog coming. You will see that guy trying to sneak across the divider, right? Whereas, if you're so used to narrow vision, it becomes very difficult because suddenly it pops out, it strikes you out. So I believe if you come, practice your skill set here, it will help you leaps and bounds. But personally, for me, this is my sport. People go out and play table tennis. I ride motorcycles on a racetrack. This is my sport. I try and ride at least 2 to 3 times a week, if I can. I try that. I spend time abroad, going to track days abroad, riding different tracks, meeting different people, seeing different approaches of riding. Each kind of philosophy, each kind of riding school has their own philosophy, has their own base. To gather all this information, for me, this is phenomenal. But yes, it will help you leaps and bounds on your day-to-day riding.
So last year when I was doing the L1, I had to muster up courage to do it, because what happens if I fall? The bike goes for 3 months. Insurance covers everything, but then you are without a bike for at least good 3 months, at least with these big bikes. I had a very wrong fundamental beginning, wrong fundamental about how to position yourself while riding. So I used to always hold the handlebar as tight as possible, and I used to think the way to prevent a tank slapper is by holding your throttle bar as hard as possible.
The exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite. That was the very first lesson you gave us, that you should do your chicken dance on
Correct.
the track
As loose as possible.
So what are the other fundamentals that one should think about?
I would rate at the highest level, it's still the basics. You still, I've not seen a MotoGP rider hold the bike with his handlebar, not with his legs. Everybody is still locked with their legs. You know, everybody moves in a particular way. Everybody rides in a particular way. Throttle control, brakes. It's still at the basics. But as the level goes up higher and higher, different skill sets come in. Vision plays a bigger role. The way you modulate throttle, then you start to use rear brake, etc., etc.
So, what are the basic or the most critical safety precautions one has to take, and what are the most common mistakes people make?
The most common mistake that I see with everyone who comes to L1, L2 is this. Just holding on to the bike. This is wrong.
What I did.
Yeah, you hold on to the bike with your legs. Your upper body is as loose as possible. This is the absolute basic. This will keep you going all the way. Even right at the top, it's still the same.
And safety precautions like when you're on the track, how it...
Gear is mandatory. I mean, I would not compromise on gear. I was actually talking to somebody and I was explaining to him that, I recently had a crash. I cracked my helmet open and he's like, oh my God, you use such an expensive helmet on a go-kart track. I'm like, no, my head is more important. Right? It doesn't matter. You can fall, hit your head in the wrong place and you could die at 20 kilometers per hour. Having the right gear, having the right quality of helmet, having the right product, having the right back protector, having the right chest protector can save you.
So, before starting my L1, L2 last year, I went to one Triumph. All I did was, check the chain's tension and tried to adjust the suspension like to as hard as possible, and I was just here. But what is the right way of setting up your bike for a track day?
Well, the first thing I would do is, if you're coming to the track for the first time, make sure that you've got new, fresh rubber. I see so many people use their bikes for commute, come to the track, and then their tires are square, and they can't figure out why the bike's not leaning. Okay? If you have fresh rubber, you got something that's shaped like a U, like a V, your bike's going to lean, it's going to work better for you. This is more important than suspension setup, blah, 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 blah. So this is critical. Second thing is brakes. You want fresh brake fluid, you want nicely bled, firm brakes. This is your confidence level. Third thing, throttle play. I see so many guys with so much throttle play. It's like you yank it, wait, and then it kicks in. Keep it tight. As soon as you open, it should react.
Okay.
After this, after you do a couple of sessions, then maybe we can, balance the bike, dial in some spring, make sure it's balanced, do a couple more sessions. Then we can talk about, can I get some more support when I brake? Can I get some more support when I accelerate?
So then what does that mean? Like, what do you mean when you say, can I get more support when I'm braking?
We look at the oil. We look at the oil flowing in the suspension.
Okay.
Right? So when I'm braking, I'm going to push the fork down. This is going to be the work of compression. When I'm accelerating, right, this front is going to come up.
Yes.
That's the work of rebound. Vice versa to the rear. But it's a step-by-step process. I mean, I'd be happy to see guys come to the track, get their bikes dialed in and turn up for L1, L2, wow. But that's not required.
So like you said, if the tire is square, you'll have trouble leaning. What are the tells of, let's say a bad suspension setup? What are the tells of, let's say, a loose chain, or what are the tells of bad, dirty oil?
Dirty oil, the engine's going to be noisy. But suspension,
no, I'm talking about brake oil, dirty brake oil.
Dirty brake oil is zero feel, and and when you ride on the track, because you're braking so hard, especially at BIC, over, very high speeds, you're going to suddenly heat up the oil. And when this oil is old, it's absorbed moisture.
And it comes out black after good track sessions.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what happens is it's heating up, the moisture in it is expanding, and you are going to start losing feel.
You'll be pressing the handle.
It'll be coming in.
It'll
start to come in, right? And you will get no feedback. And at one point, you'll be like, oh, damn.
Gone.
Right? So that's brake oil. When it comes to tires, when it comes to suspension, your tires will tell you. If your rebound is, you're running too much rebound, your tires are going to have steps on them. Right? Okay. Everything, if your tire pressure is too low, it's going to have a hot tire. Your tire pressure is too high, it's going to have a cold tire. The tires will tell you what's going on.
And while riding, if you're not getting a smooth exit out of the corner,
mostly it is
your
vision
bike
and
is
throttle.
Sliding from the back.
Mostly it's vision, throttle, and something that we're doing with the body. At the L1, L2 level, if people are struggling with, things like traction control, I'm like, whoa. slow down. You know, we haven't reached there yet. But yeah, I mean, the fast guys definitely, they're pushing the limit.
They don't use traction control in ABS.
They need all the support they can get. But for the first time, guys, well, I think if you just get your tires right, if you get some brake fluid, you're good to go, man.
And what about riding gears? Do you think a two-piece suit is good, or you should always go for one piece?
I will always be more comfortable in a single piece suit. I personally will always be more comfortable in a single piece suit. Are two-piece suits allowed at my track days or at most track days? The answer is yes. As long as it's zipped together, yes, it's good to go. No
It's a trade-off between safety and comfort,
It's
right?
actually, if it's zipped together, it'll hold itself. It will hold itself. I've never seen a case of a rider go down at a two-piece and the suit split open and him getting road rash on his back. I've not seen that.
It's not happening.
I've not seen that.
And what about the people who say that two-piece suits are good for one crash?
I think it depends on the crash. My Tai Chi must have had 5-6 crashes on it.
It's a single piece.
It's a single piece.
So people say that the two-piece suit has.
I don't. Like I told you, I've never seen a suit rip. But then again, I could be wrong. If you're coming to learn, yeah, two-piece works. If you enjoy it, it's like I'm going to go try football. When you first go to play football, you go in your normal sneakers. Once you get addicted to football, then what happens?
You buy
you're getting
studs,
your cleats, you're getting, you're getting
guards,
your shin
everything.
guards. It's the same way, right? I can perfectly understand most of the guys coming to L1, L2, weekend warriors, riding the highway, two-piece seems to be comfortable for them, right? And they want to come here. After testing, after feeling, go one piece. If you enjoy it, make the investment. It's worth it.
So what's the life of an average riding gear? So helmets, we know that you need to change every 1 or 2 years because the foam inside,
You can get that refreshed. The shell actually from the data manufacturing is 3 to 5 years good. Okay, after that it's not so good.
And what about suits, boots, and your
I've
gloves?
seen a 2-year-old suit powder because it was not taken care of. It was left in the sun. I've seen my personal suit is 4.5 years old, 5 years old, still holding, still works. So it all depends on maintenance. So how do you maintain a suit? Very simple. Put leather polish on it. There's a special type of leather polish. It's mostly oxtail wax.
And cleaning it?
You clean it just like you clean your leather sneakers. You have a little all-purpose brush. Brush it gently. You don't have to use any fancy soap solution. If the inners can be removed, remove the inners, but wash them by hand. Do not put them in the washing machine because if you do the spin dry, it will come out 3 times its size, okay? So yeah, wash it by hand, put it back inside. There will always be salt, from our sweat inside the suit. Brush it off with just an all-purpose brush. You're in a good space.
So let's talk about the Indian racing scenario.
Right.
You started from 1995.
Right.
How difficult or easy was it back then to get into racing versus now?
I think it's the same. The community is extremely welcoming.
So you had a ISBK back in 1995?
Nope. I was a solo guy, and somebody told me there was a race in Chennai, and I took a train in the morning, went to Chennai, went to the Madras Motorsports race office, met them. They told me that I had to go back to Bangalore and apply for a license. They gave me a form for a race. I filled up the form, applied in KMSC for a race license, got my race license, came back a month later.
So what does it take to get a race license now?
Now it's as easy as it was back then. You go onto their website.
But there are some technical things, right? You need to have a qualifying time or.
No. If you need to get a race license, there is no qualifying time. Okay. That's a misconception. No, there is a qualifying time if you're racing. It's 107%.
Okay.
If you don't qualify on your first try, your life does not end there.
And what are those races that are
the fastest guys?
No. What are those races where you have to qualify?
All national championship races you have to qualify.
I can have 10 people book BIC tomorrow and we can
but it's not a race.
That's not a race.
It becomes a race when it becomes an FMSCI sanctioned permit event.
Okay. How many events we have in a year?
We have 5 to 6 races, which is part of the national championship. We have some club level races in Coimbatore, Curry Motorsports. They conduct some club level races. Then you have some. We conducted a time trial here at one of our.
BIC. I think we are doing nothing more than a time trial.
We have not done. We have not done anything more than a time.
But the thing is, we have so many big bikes out here, liter bikes. MMRT and Kari are not like fast enough for those
The
bikes,
problem,
right? So why aren't we doing it in BIC?
the problem is the cost of BIC. You know, unfortunately, BIC is a damn good track, but it's also an expensive machine. You know, it's not a cheap machine. Um, when I do a track day in the south of India at the smaller track, we are talking about 6-digit sums, right? But when we come here, it's a 7-digit sum. Okay, your cost is maybe not twice, not thrice, but more like into 10.
Okay.
Okay, so the cost of BIC, and also because of the length of the track, because of the width of the track, the amount of marshals, right, the amount of physical eyes needed on the track for safety is huge. This is why we don't race on BIC.
The community needs to grow. We need to have more volunteers.
We need to
have
figure
more
out.
people.
Yes. You know, like we're doing a pit walk every time I come here. I always make sure that the marshals get a pit walk. They get to meet the riders. They get to hang out to incentivize them to keep doing what they're doing. You know, they're doing a thankless job. They're in the sun the whole day. You know, and they're all motorsports enthusiasts. Else they would not even bother to come here. They're not your cheap labor guys. These are guys with the same soul as you and I. It's just that for their circumstances, they're enjoying the sport from the sideline. You know, and they're participating towards the sport. They're helping us conduct this event. They're making sure that when we are riding, they are the ones who first come. Yes. I go down, the first guy to come, I'm going to see is going to be a marshal. Right? So it's a thankless job, but you know, we try and support them as much.
Have you ridden on the track before the MotoGP update and after the MotoGP?
Yes, I have.
So
yes, I have.
How has the track changed?
Oh, it's very different. It's very different.
It's easier now, I believe.
I don't know if it's easier because you know it's changed. A couple of corners have changed. It becomes slower. Some corners the tracks become narrower. You know, so this has made it interesting.
Okay.
I don't want to comment whether it's been easier or difficult. I think both were different animals, and you know this one we conquered. Now we have to conquer this one. So that's the way I see it. I've never found a track difficult or easy. I just find it.
It's probably a challenge and task for you. You just have to conquer it. Yes. Okay, let's do some rapid fire.
Go for it.
Favorite corner at BIC?
Without doubt.
Just rapid fire.
13.
13. Okay. Track riding or street riding?
Track.
Best bike you have ever ridden on a track?
R15 V3.
Best bike? R15 V3. Worst bike you ever ridden on a track?
Oh, I think it was Harley Davidson.
You've ridden a Harley on a track.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Best track you have ever ridden?
Madras Motorsports racetrack.
Okay. Wet race or dry race?
Dry.
Dry race. Rider you admire the most?
Barry Sheen.
Most underrated skill for a track rider? Vision. Racing line or late braking?
Racing line any day.
Loud exhaust or stock?
I don't like loud exhaust. Stocks works just fine.
Must have mod for a track?
Good tires.
One thing you'd like to change about racing in India?
I wish we had better tire choice.
Favorite post-race meal?
Chicken rice.
I thought it was curd rice with chili chicken.
I'm lactose intolerant, so yeah. Good.
When are you coming to BIC again?
Well, we're going to be here in September. We've got some dates announced, September, October, November. But I'm hoping to come and do a couple of track days before that.
Will you be giving me a free open session?
Why not?
And a set of slicks?
Now you're pushing it.
So, what is that one advice you'd like to give to a street rider about track riding?
You know, I can never explain the taste of vanilla, right? I don't think you can either. Come, ride, taste it.
I think for me, it's like the taste of blood. Once you get it, you can't leave it.
Violent. I'm
It's
more
too
doing
violent
like
to
chocolate
gamble.
and vanilla because you can never explain. Can you explain to me the taste of chocolate? It tastes like chocolate. Yeah. What is that? Come ride. Once you ride, you taste it.
Or
and
it's
you
like,
know.
Lay's. No one can eat just one.
That too.
I mean, it does something. It changes.
I think the most important thing here is many people are scared to come to the track because it's called a racetrack. They think it becomes very competitive. Actually, it is not. It's a very chill, relaxed experience where you and your machine have the freedom to express yourself to the peak. To the peak. You cannot do that on the road. You cannot go full throttle, 6 gear, pinned, tucked underneath on any road. I mean, if you do, I wish you all the best. You know, but here you can do that lap on lap, lap on lap, lap on lap.
It's true. I mean, I was very scared. I have taken my bike to Mustang Valley, Nepal. I'm talking about the street triple.
Right.
I've done all that, but I was very scared to hit the track. But once I started with the very first turn, and immediately I started feeling safer actually. कि यहाँ पे कुत्ते नहीं आते. Today there was a dog, I believe.
Yeah, but then we shot. We actually closed this. We did a red flag, and then we got rid of the dog and then come back. These things happen. I mean, I've run over snakes. I've seen rabbits across many tracks, many tracks, including I've done a track day in Thailand where we saw a dog. Yeah, it's no surprise. No surprise. These are big open spaces. People do.
So, is there a fun moment or a moment of victory or a moment of memory, a cherishable memory you'd like to share related to track?
Whenever I come to a track, I always my goal is, of course, we have markers, we have all this, we have lap time, etc. But for me personally, is there's a point where the bike starts to sing. The sound starts to translate into speed, and because I'm also a sound engineer, to me when the motorcycle starts to sing, I feel very happy.
The back straight.
No, not just the back straight, but just going through the corners. I mean, the straights never excited me. It's always going through the corners. It's like, and you pin it, and you're leaned over, knees on the deck. You're reaching the extreme edge of the track. You're using your vision to bring the bike in, and then you flip it for the next corner. You're slightly off gas, and this whole thing is just going to sound like, and it's a beautiful soundtrack. Beautiful soundtrack. I mean, I listen to music 24/7. And for me to listen to that every time, it's like, wow.
What's the worst crash you've ever seen on a track?
Worst crash I've ever seen on the track, I think I would say Deepak Ravi Kumar crashing at C4 in our last track day. What
happened, if you're okay to share?
I mean, to me, this is mind-blowing because I consider this man as the smartest, most calculative, and most mature rider. And he made a mistake. So going off at C4 is not a joke. You will get hurt. And he was seriously hurt. Luckily, we had a great medical team here. We had a great set of doctors at the hospital that we went to in Noida. We were damn lucky. That's the worst crash I ever seen.
What's the reason for crashes? Like, what's the most common technical failures that we have?
The rider. The rider.
And when we talk about mechanical parts?
It was a rider's choice. I mean, if it's a complete mechanical failure, I understand. I've gone through it a few times. I've had engine lockups on me. I've had it all. I understand that. But I feel mostly we can blame it on ourselves. At the end of the day, it's always our choice as a rider. And I think as part of the journey of a rider is to start looking at yourself and find the faults versus looking outside yourself to find faults. I think in any sport, this is the way to grow. Cricket is a very interesting sport to compare to because I've never heard a batsman say, my bat didn't work well enough. But in motorsports, we always have the machine to blame. Poor thing can't talk back.
Neither good bats,
but you can't blame the bat, no?
But you have a team of engineers who are working on your bike.
True.
Kimi
Raikkonen. You still blame the machine.
Kimi Raikkonen.
So when are we going to see you on the track again?
Soon. Okay. I think I'm prepping my bike. I'm looking for exhausts.
Okay.
I will probably come to you for that free set of slicks.
I would want to ask you guys to do something. Why don't you come ride with me in a go-kart track in Bangalore?
We have been wanting to do that.
Please come. Be my guest. Please come. It's an amazing experience. Small 150cc bikes. I've got the bikes. Come. Be my guest.
Sure. Definitely.
Yeah? And your skill set will go through the roof.
You get to learn to lean a lot. That's why you learn to
lean. If you master Aruvani grid, which is the track I'm talking about, I don't think there's a straight anymore.
So, I mean, yeah, my experience at track, so it was amazing. Like, I know you guys were the most friendly instructors ever. Like, the guru needs to be a friend. You cannot be strict. You need to bond. and that's when you are able to learn more. And I was able to share a lot of my experience, my fear when I was with ISBK last year. And I've been riding with a lot of people, like around 200 people are there in our own group, and most of them say that ISBK is like the ones we want to track with. There are people who say that I'll only track with when ISBK comes.